you've also got a song available, which is my number one fear. If there's one talent I'm so covetous of for myself, it would be the ability to sing. In fact, you mentioned the Phantom of the Opera.
Yes.
I dragged my wife to it, and my wife she's not down with emotional musicals, but especially the emotional ones. So she'll hang in there for like Hamilton. But the Phantom, she sat there, oh, the chandelier is nice. And then by the end, she's got her arms crossed. And then she looks over at me, and I'm just weeping at the end because, oh my God, I didn't realize she was going to kiss the Phantom and then leave him down there. Oh, and she's just looking like, who have I married? Who are you right now? But I wanted to ask you about singing because you've got, I want to make sure I get the title right because it's a great title. I'm Gonna Die This Spring, so let's make out tonight. Which I have been enjoying multiple times over the past week listening to.
Thanks.
When did you write that song, and did it help you at any point with the books?
Funny story about that song. So that is a song, right, that's mentioned in the first book. Denton talks about how he met his girlfriend Taryn and how part of it involved him playing at this talent show at school, and he played that song. He wrote and played his own song, I'm Gonna Die Next Spring, so let's make out tonight. And that was part of what made Taryn fall for him. And I was always thinking as I wrote that book, oh, when this book comes out, I got to actually write that song, and that'll be great. And this speaks to how much I procrastinate. I didn't actually end up writing the song until the second book came out. And then I played it at the launch event for the second book, because better late than never. But as I wrote the first book and I mentioned that song, I had an idea of what it would feel like, but I had no idea what the song was. And it took me, 3 years later before I actually wrote the song and followed through on it. And I'm glad I did, and I'm glad it exists. Now I've been procrastinating on actually recording a version of it that could be like, an MP3 for people to enjoy, so they don't have to just watch on YouTube. But I haven't done that yet because it's a common theme. I'm happy that I have finished a lot of creative works, but there's a lot that I haven't. And I've just made peace with that. Sometimes it takes a while, or it just never happens.
Just for fun, a couple of weeks ago, I went back and I did a check for Robert Waller because I thought maybe it was a fever dream I had in the 90s. Did he have an album? And I thought, oh, yes, The Bridges in Madison County, the album. It exists. I forgot about it. And he sings all about Francesca, and he sings about the character's motivations, just dead serious. And no shade. I don't shame authors.
Yes,
I like The Bridges in Madison County. I think it's a very enjoyable read, and the song is not terrible. It's a little bit of music because I can hear the author getting a little bit choked up. Like, really, bro, you wrote the book. You've lived with these characters for how long? Are they still hitting you right here? But nope, that was his truth, and he's singing it. So 11 more songs about Denton. And then you can be our modern Robert James Waller.
Oh man, I gotta follow in Robert James Waller's footsteps. That's amazing.
It's a YouTube search. It's him in front of Bridges with his guitar singing. Oh, it's great.
Okay, great. I know what I'm doing after we finish talking.
I should clarify. It's not like great, like, oh, brace yourself for amazing music, but like for an author,
right? Like
going out there and just being the most author you could be. Like, yeah, I love my stuff. What do you want from me? It's great.
Yeah. Look, again, it's all about expectations, and I would not go in expecting incredible music, but I would just go in expecting this could be fun to watch, and I bet it will be.
It's just the passion was that you can see he's not afraid. It's like, I really do love this stuff. That's why I spent my all this time working on it, and I continue to talk about it. It's mine. It's great.
He's not trying to just cash in. It's not some soulless cash grab. He's like, I also love making music about these characters.
After the movie came out, I think it might have been after the epilogue or whatever, the second book came out. So he was already he backed up in his Maserati or whatever the fancy car was back then to record the video. It wasn't a cash grab. It was just, I love this stuff. I got
the cash already. I've grabbed all the cash, and
this is what I'm doing with it.
My memory of Bridges of Madison County actually is I haven't read it, but as a kid, I'd always look at the New York Times and just check out the bestseller list, and I'd just be like, Bridges in Madison County. 155 weeks in running or whatever it was. That book was just on that list forever and ever. And I was just very impressed by the fact that this one book could just be bought and bought and bought and bought just for years.
Oh, but he sold more copies than my minister at my small town church I grew up in, because every Sunday he came to make sure I mentioned, don't forget, if you read Bridges in Madison County, you're going to hell. And I'm like, oh, really? Let's check that book out.
That's what you would say? Don't forget, by the way, this is what this is. This is
no, he had some variation on it. It wasn't every week, but it came up often. Like, they're glorifying infidelity. They're going to destroy our families. Well, yeah, I think they're glorifying Meryl Streep and Clint Eastwood, but all right.
Okay.